Disease is a significant problem in our society as it ages, and it will continue to be a problem or an issue. Problem is maybe the wrong way to look at it, but sometimes it creates problems. And Greg Charyna from Homestead Senior Care is with us today because we're talking about at least one tool in the toolbox with regard to helping people in this regard. So thanks for being here today.
My pleasure.
So first of all, let's talk, before we talk about the tools that are going to be made available, let's talk about Alzheimer's disease and failing memories, because it's a fairly significant number in terms of you know, how many people do get lost or wander off. What are some of those stats?
Well, the Alzheimer's Society is saying that 50% of people with Alzheimer's will at some point wander, and so that's why the major concern for families
so that's half.
Yeah.
Half will wander off, and at least 1 in 5 family of those people wander off. The police are called in, you know, 20% of the circumstances.
Yeah.
Say we can't find them.
Usually, yeah, the person is located quickly, but if not, you know, after 15 minutes, the recommendation is you call the police, and that's what those families have had to do.
And is that what it is, after 15 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's the recommendation, because you want to start that search quickly, because if people aren't found within 24 hours, it can be very dire.
Yeah, certainly. We certainly saw an example of that in late December. Let's talk a little bit about the Missing Seniors Network, because that's one of the things that's going to make things.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tool that Homestead has developed and released now for the public to use. It's a free tool. Just go online to missingseniornetwork.ca and create an account.
Right.
And this account is basically people in your social network, family, friends, work colleagues, law enforcement, and the idea is, as we care for a loved one at home, if the unthinkable should ever happen, and 15 minutes go by, the first call is to the police, but the second call or the second function would be to hit send on this blast. It's an alert to all of your friends and family to get them looking for your person. Sure. Because they know you, they know where that person would be wandering.
Exactly, and who knows, at some point that person might actually be with one of these individuals, you know, on your social network. Let's talk. You know, you talked about, you know, the importance of, you know, quality of care and quality of life for our aging population. And there's a bit of a gap here, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, Alzheimer's can be really tricky.
Well, sure. Many folks that are living with Alzheimer's or other types of dementia may not qualify for long-term care.
Right.
And ultimately, the family's preference and the individual's preference is, I want to stay in my home for as long as possible. But that's where the wandering potential can happen, because we know that wandering isn't a random act, it's purposeful. And families, family caregivers are doing their best, but sometimes they get tired or they get distracted and focused on something else, and the next thing you know, their person is in a situation.
And that's the thing, is that it's like, and it creates a great deal of anxiety for families, and of course the whole process of, you know, when do we try and put someone into long care in a long care facility, or as you said, what can we do to keep that loved one in a home environment they're more comfortable with?
Yeah, and that's the bulk of our work, frankly, is helping families help their loved ones stay engaged and focused in routine visits and in familiar activities in a familiar place. And that just really helps people be grounded and not have that anxiety and maybe that potential to wander, to be agitated, or to feel like they need to go home or go to work or go see family somewhere else, but that they're settled because they're in a relationship and they're being engaged.
Obviously a serious subject, but obviously an interesting tool. The Missing Seniors Network, you can go online to check that out. And as Greg was saying, make an account, and then you've got that at least in your back pocket should the unthinkable happen. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All righty. Would also